David Rosenthal, how are you, my friend?
How you doing, Phil?
Good to see you. Man,
you too.
You've got angler pliers. We're going to get into that with you. You've got some Facebook pages that are really extraordinary, but more than anything, it's just good to see you again.
Absolutely. I don't get down here a whole lot.
I remember that trip we did on the Amigo. You and I were up in the bow. We could see Dorado.
Just everywhere.
Wasn't that great?
That was such a fun trip.
That was such a great trip. And spending time with you with that infectious, there it is, that infectious laugh. And you're just such a nice person to be around. So it's great to have you here on.
It was a great trip with a great group of people, and I'm glad you had me down today.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk pliers, man. You know, you've got new pliers. They're available to the public.
Yes, they are.
Getting rave reviews from the crew on the Royal Polaris to Dan Lightfoot, who's part of our studio audience. I watched him using them yesterday while we were surf fishing. So obviously they're pretty versatile. I mean, big fish, small fish. Tell us a little bit about how you came up with the idea, how people can get them, and why these pliers are better than other pliers.
Well, years ago, like probably close to 10 years ago, someone gave me a dental tool, say, hey, try using these to unhook. And it was very flimsy, kind of like a hemostat, but had a, kind of a cool angle on it and got you to see. And I'm like, these would be great if it was, something a little more durable, kind of like a needle nose, duckbill sort of thing with the same sort of angle to them. A lot of the bent needle nose pliers that you see have an extended handle, and the handles are bent, and they're kind of awkward and unbalanced. These are the perfect angle. We put the angle at the hinge.
Angle, why? Why is that angle important?
Because when you're lipping a fish or whatever, you can see what you're doing. It's more ergonomic for your hand. I've had a lot of guys that have arthritis come up to me and say, hey, these are a lot better on my hand instead of having to twist your wrist like with something like a typical duckbill.
Yeah.
Where you have to twist.
Exactly.
To, see what you're doing and you're like looking all over. But, and they weigh about the same. You can see they're pretty much the same size, just with the angle. They weigh about the same. This one with the epoxy and wrap weighs 9.5 ounces. These just weigh 8 ounces.
Nice.
They're made of medical grade stainless steel.
Which is super expensive.
Yeah, they're pricey to make, and they were difficult to manufacture as well. I've gone through several manufacturers, and I finally found one that can do what I want it to do, and has been able to deliver a really good, durable product. Chris Velasquez had like some of my prototype pairs for probably 8 years or so.
Who's Chris Velasquez, for everybody who may not know?
He runs Hooks Landing and the New Hustler. He owns the New Hustler and
That's
the Cora Loma out of in Oxnard.
Yeah.
And he's had them for a long time. He says he uses them every day, when he's out there, and they're his favorite pair of pliers.
Really? That's great. What an endorsement.
Yeah, and he sent me a picture of his, a couple months ago, and they look almost brand new.
Really?
He says there's no rust on them or anything, and those aren't even the final product. So I gave him the final one. Same with Jim Salmons, who's a big kayak fisherman. He's got a kayak fishing show. He's had a couple pairs. He kept losing them, so I kept having to give him, replacements. But he loves them as well. He's been using them for a long time, and he says he keeps them on his kayak and his boat. My friend Ron Davis, who's a mechanical engineer who helped me with the final drawings and designs and helped me work out some of the bugs. I fish striped bass with him a lot, and he keeps 2 pairs on his boat at all times. And they're always out in the sun, in the elements, and they're just always getting beat up. So, and they still look great and function great.
That is awesome.
They won't freeze up like when you get a new pair. You go on the boat, and after the first day, they won't open.
I know.
Or you pull them out of your sheath after a trip. You go on your next trip and you got to soak them in the bait tank and, get them open again.
You've never had that problem with these?
I've never had that problem with these. I wipe them down once in a while, or I'll wipe them, with fresh water, just, every so often, but not most of the time. I just throw them in my tackle box and just let them sit when I'm done with the trip.
That's great.
Another good thing about them is the teeth. The teeth are a diamond pattern, so they grip. You can check those out. They grip a lot better than your normal, like the slats that you have in like a regular pair of pliers.
Yes.
these ones have a lot more grip to them. If you run your finger over them,
Yes.
you can see that.
Can feel that.
One thing is, I have here's a Owner Mosquito size 4 hook. So, here, pick that up. You pick that up using the pliers.
All right, you're picking the wrong guy. If this works for me, it'll work for anybody. I will tell you that.
So
right now, because I'm not very
when you hold them, they're, if you're holding them, it's not going to come out.
Yeah.
Whereas if you do that with these, now try these, and see the angle one you have to turn your wrist to get to it, and then you pick it up, and then this one will, come out a little easier.
Yeah.
So, but the diamond pattern of the teeth helps that a lot.
Gotcha.
And you don't have to tweak your wrist to do it.
Yeah.
So,
was that the test you were going to give me on the show today?
Yeah, that was it.
Thank God.
that was all I was going to give you.
You're going to have me tie a knot and make a fool of myself or something, so I'm good with that.
And one thing is, people always ask, hey, will they cut braid? So
that is a very good question.
I brought some 65-pound braid. This is 65-pound Iserline braid, and it'll cut. Sometimes it's a little better than others, but it will cut braid.
Yeah.
So, you just got to make sure you got it in the right spot. It's not like using a scissors or anything like that.
But it'll still work in a pen.
It cuts braid. I wish I had some heavier braid because it cuts that really well, and the lighter braid because I fish.
Want to try it on Dan's mustache?
Dan, come here.
Yeah, really.
So they're just, more ergonomic, more fun. They're just better for you, for the wrist, and they're durable, that's the key thing. And they also all come with a custom 100% leather sheath.
Oh, that is beautiful.
So, and the sheath has a belt clip on it as well as, loops for your belt.
That is beautiful. And it looks like, what, a variety of colors?
Yeah, we have black, blue. Black's almost gone. I think I have one or two pairs of those left.
Really?
Blue's going fast.
Are you going to replenish? Or?
Yeah, I'm going to replenish. I have a lot of the stainless steel ones, just the raw steel. A lot of people like that. These are not anodized because they're stainless, so it's a chemical process. So they can't do every single color. I have them working on trying to get a good green for me. So, because I know a lot of people have asked for green. So
St. Patrick's Day is right around the corner.
Exactly. So you're always fun on St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
But I have the gold. I have this color, which I'm calling dark fuel, which is like a purple, brown,
cool
red, blue, like a darker one. And this one's also really popular. It's, I call it fuel because it looks like fuel on the water.
It does. That is
so,
awesome.
And that people really seem to like that one too.
Yeah.
So
I see these, man. And I go, man, those would make some good colors for some jigs too.
Yeah, exactly.
Beautiful.
So, but yeah, like I said, they're all medical grade stainless steel. You could really torque on them quite a bit. They are durable and they're going to last you forever as long as you don't lose them.
Yeah, for sure. Now, how do people get them? That's the big question, of course.
Well, they could go to Eric's Tackle in Ventura carries them. The Fish and Fools carries them. Or they could go to anglerpliers.com and they can get them there online. And shipping's pretty reasonable. It's like $6 to ship.
Oh, that's great.
So, yeah, it's not that much.
What do they cost?
The retail price on these are $64.99.
Yep.
And, if you ever have a problem with them or whatever, I'll replace them, for free, no problems.
And I think it's important people realize $64.95. This may be the only pair of pliers you're going to need to buy. You're going to replace them if something goes wrong. Number one, the stainless steel keeps them from rusting and deteriorating. Other pliers, maybe grab a pair for $29 or $19, but they're going to be frozen, and you're going to be like, oh, you know what? I can't deal with this.
Yeah, you're going to throw them away. You're buying new pliers every couple of years, which is what I used to do. And my duckbills sit in my tackle box in my garage. Most of the time, I haven't taken them out on a trip in years. So because I've just been using these, and But a lot of people are used to, carrying 2 pairs of pliers, a duckbill, a pair of dikes, and, but these can replace that. You can have 1 pair of pliers and they'll last you forever.
You mentioned that the crew on the Royal Polaris has been using them. What have they been telling you?
They've been telling me they're holding up fantastic, better than some of their big name pliers that they've been purchasing. And they work great. They love them. They've been sending me videos and pictures, using them for everything from, the Pargo all the way up to, big cow yellowfin tuna.
Wow.
So, yeah, so they've been really enjoying them. They're pretty much all the guys on the boat have them. So,
are you going to be at any of the upcoming shows, or if not 24, maybe 25? Are you thinking about going to a Bard Hall show or a PCS show, anything like that?
I might be at the PCS show for one day, just helping Kevin with Booyah out in his booth.
And you'd have these?
I'd have some there. I had some at the Hall show.
Let me know, and then I can announce that on the morning briefing, and people can come by and see you.
Okay, that'd be great. I'd love to say hi to everyone. I might be there for one day. I won't be at the Hall show in Del Mar. There is a show in Ventura in May.
Yeah, that guy approached me, actually.
And I was thinking of doing that one.
Yeah, okay, because that's up near you guys, right? Yeah.
So I was thinking of doing that show. I don't know much about the show. I haven't, heard from a lot of people
I got
about
a
it.
card in my wallet of the guy who's organizing it.
Yeah,
so.
he's already reached out to me.
What's his name? Dr. A? Is he actually
Adam Castillo or
Is he a
something like
doctor?
that? I don't know.
That's
a good question.
Dr. A. Dr. J.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm considering doing that show. It's 3 days. I do have
just
a
keep us in
full-time
touch
job.
with that. Yeah, I know. Yeah, you're juggling that too, right?
Exactly.
But any of those things you're doing, let us know. We'll push it out in the morning briefing
I
for everybody
appreciate
to
it.
be able to join you.
I'd like people to come by and try them and feel them and see for yourself. A lot of the bass guys really love them.
Yeah.
If you're fishing local rockfish, bass fishing, things like that, these are just perfect for that.
Do they have other applications? In other words, if you're not a fisherman, can you use these things?
Oh, absolutely. I use these around the house all the time.
Yeah?
In the last couple of months, I've sold a lot more to people that don't fish.
Really?
I've sold to, computer engineers, mechanical engineers, electricians, crafts and hobbyists, people like that.
That's great.
They're like, these are way better than anything that they have.
Wow.
And they love them. Everyone seems to love them. There was one time we were out, my wife, she didn't really understand the use for them, and we were out fishing the dock at Hamilton Cove on Catalina.
Yeah.
And there was a guy with his kid that was fishing there with us. And the kid had caught a calico bass and it was hooked really deep and they couldn't get it out. I'm like, hey, check this out.
Johnny on the spot.
And I grabbed it and just lipped the bass, just went right in, was able to take it out without hurting the fish and let it go. And she was like, oh, now I see. And the guy was like, wow, those are really cool.
Where can I get a pair?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So she saw what their use is, what the use is for them and what I initially designed them for.
Yeah.
And, so I just finally, after years, I finally got them manufactured and brought to market.
And it sounds like kind of an arduous process. You went through painstakingly trying to get it right.
Exactly. So the first batches I had done with different manufacturers, they were inconsistent. The quality wasn't there. And I just, I got discouraged after a while. And finally, one of my friends said, hey, I got a guy who, manufactures some car parts for me, talk to him. And so I did, and he's a family-owned small business. They are made out of the U.S. I couldn't afford to have them made in the U.S. because it was just, some of the quotes I got were like, I don't have an extra $1 million sitting around. Sorry.
I know.
But they worked with me and helped me refine it and get everything how I want it, and gave me some suggestions as well. And so they've been manufacturing them for me.
Excellent.
And I've been happy. And yeah, like I said, it's been a long time coming. And they're like, hey, we got some colors we could do. You want to try that? I'm like, absolutely. And they sent me some samples. I was like, oh, wow, these are great. And everyone I showed them to just loved them. And so I got some colors.
Good job, man. Hey, we'll circle back to how people can get these. But you have a couple of Facebook pages I think we should make everybody aware of out there.
Yeah, I run the SoCal Long Range Fishing Group on Facebook. We have almost 18,000 members, It's pretty focused on, fishing. With the bluefin, it's kind of come into play. It's not all long range anymore because you're catching long range quality fish
in one day range.
Locally.
Yeah, exactly.
And a lot of long range boats are even fishing there. So,
Yeah, I know.
You get people saying, "Oh, it's not long range," but it's long range quality fishing. And a lot of the long range guys are like, "Oh yeah, I'm geared up for these big fish," and so they fish it a lot as well. So it's been a good group. I've had it for several years, and we just have a great group of people.
That's great. And people, they just go to Facebook, search that, and then they can join the group.
Yeah, Facebook, SoCal Long Range Fishing, and they could join the group. It might take me a little while to approve a membership, but I do go through and I try and approve every single member, and I moderate all the posts on there because I try and avoid as much spam as possible.
Right.
Because there's a lot of that on Facebook.
I know.
So
I know.
Some other groups I've looked at, you have all kinds of weird, just irrelevant videos
Or inappropriate sometimes.
Lots of inappropriate.
Yeah.
So I filter all that stuff out. And we do have several manufacturers, of different products that offer discounts to the group. So you can see all them on the group. We have them in the featured section. You go to their websites and, get discounts on their products.
Nice.
Opson's one of them.
Yeah, perfect.
Greg's been fantastic to the group, and
Great.
I know the group really likes his product. So, and we offer a little bit of discount to group members for the pliers as well. So you could check it out there.
Yet another reason. And then do you have a Facebook page for your pliers or not?
Yes. It's, the facebook.com Angler Pliers. Just Angler Pliers, and the website's just anglerpliers.com. We're also on Instagram. I don't do TikTok or anything like that. I just do Instagram, Facebook, and that's it. That's pretty much it. And then a website, where you could purchase them.
Yeah, let's hit that one more time.
Yeah.
Just so I'm so impressed with these. I've used them myself. They're great, fantastic. I was using them down surf fishing yesterday. A lot of my thing is doing video now, so I highly recommend these things. And the stainless steel feature is so important.
Absolutely.
I mean, in terms of the durability and the longevity of these pliers, that says it all.
Exactly. I got pairs that have lasted me, since my first prototype pairs. They're still there. They're not, as polished and as quality as these, but they're still holding up, and they're the same metal and stuff like that. That's actually what I was doing mostly when I actually designed them. I was doing a lot of surf fishing.
Oh, okay.
When I was living in El Segundo, I'd be at the beach almost every day surf fishing.
Right.
And these were just working perfect for removing those small hooks out of the perch. The corvina, the friggin', the sharks, halibut, so, and then that's kind of where I did a lot of the testing of them, and then I gave them to people, and then I would take them on, when I do my long range trips, I'd take a pair, and as soon as I get on the boat, I'd throw a pair in the bait tank.
Yeah.
So, and I'd let it sit in the bait tank for days.
That's great.
And then I'd take it out and let it sit on deck.
Yeah.
No rust.
Wow.
I do have pictures up on our website of what they look like after 2 weeks in salt water and then sitting out for a week. And they basically look like this. They're basically just, look like stainless.
That is awesome. That's awesome.
So, got a little bit of grease coming out the back. But, but they're durable, they hold up, they don't corrode, and they're all, just a great product as far as I'm concerned,
All right.
Which is getting people to try them and try something new is difficult.
Exactly.
So, a lot of the guys that don't fish see a use for them immediately. But the guys that fish, they're used, like I said, they're used to carrying, a pair of dikes, a pair of duckbills, and whatever else on their belt. Maybe a sharper cutter for braid.
Yes.
So, but this could replace them. They're a lot smaller, they weigh a lot less, and, they're comfortable to use. So.
Perfect.
That's it.
Look out there, your adoring public, one more time, and tell them what tackle stores they can get them in and what the website is. One more time, David.
You can purchase them at Eric's Tackle up in Ventura, the Fishing Fools in Granada Hills, or go to the website anglerpliers.com, and you can get them there.
Great seeing you, David. Thanks
Phil.
for exposing these to our audience. Gwen is off
for
camera,
having us.
but Gwen, nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you.
Also, and Man, I wish you the best of luck with what I consider to be a really great product.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. It's hard when you're the little guy. You know, I'm pretty much a one-man operation at the moment. So when
you're going to look like me one of these days. I'm a one-man operation. Look what happened to me.
Maybe. So she'll make me glue, hair onto my head if that happens.
Get a wig.
Yeah. So, but yeah, just getting them out there and getting them into stores and stuff is, it's kind of difficult when you're not, a Daiwa or a Gamakatsu or one of those companies that, just has this massive, marketing behind them.
Yes.
So yeah. So this is great.
Thank you, David.
I appreciate it, Phil.
Have a great day.
It's always good to see you. Thank you.
You too.